Alrighty, and away we go. Okay, so hello, anybody watching the recording? My name is Mike Anello, and I'm going to, over the next, I don't know how many hours it's going to take, a few hours, I suspect. I'm not going to do it all at once, so there'll be a few of these screen recordings. I'm going to basically update DrupalEasy.com to Drupal 9. But it's not ready to be upgraded to Drupal 9 yet. It's close, but it's not completely there. So let's kind of look at where we're at. There are no current security updates, so that's a good thing. Is someone tapping on there? You guys hear that? Someone's tapping.
I definitely hear that.
That's you, David. I'm muting you.
I think it's
muted.
David. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. You got muted. I muted him. Ha, 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 that's the power. Okay, he's playing. It sounded like he was playing bongos, didn't it? So let me get the chat open in case David wants to beg forgiveness and speak again. Okay, there we go. Okay, yeah, so I'm at 8.86, 8.9, and 9.0 just came out yesterday. So it's June 4th today, on June 3rd. But we've got a lot of other modules that are a little bit behind. And in addition, we have the upgrade status module installed. Upgrade status, which is a very cool tool that if you're going to be going upgrading into Drupal 9, this is the tool to use, I think. So we're using upgrade status module. I already have that installed locally. So that is this thing right here. So let's go to upgrade status because this is really what we want. Okay, so Drupal core and hosting environment. So PHP version should be at least 7.3. So we're going to take care of some of these right now. And some of these are gonna be pretty easy, but then we're gonna come down here and we're gonna look, we got some custom stuff. These are all old features, which we're not even using anymore. So I'm gonna be able to delete some stuff and just get rid of a bunch of stuff and contribute projects. Some of these are not ready for Drupal 9 yet, so they have to be updated. Some of them might even have some errors and warnings. So classy paragraphs, I think we'll get rid of that. So yeah. And some uninstalled stuff. So we're gonna have to work through this over the next few screencasts. So let's get going. So Drupal core should be 8.8.x or 8.9.x. Version 8.8.6 allows to upgrade, but 9.0.0 is available. So this status message is a little bit confusing. But I'm going to kind of ignore this one for now. I'm on 8.8.6, so I definitely meet this criteria. So I think at some point I might go to 8.9 before I go to 9.0 as part of this process. But whatever. We're gonna skip that for now. PHP version. So my site is hosted on Pantheon. So let me open up my Pantheon dashboard over here. Give me 1 second. I gotta log in. The one time I'm not logged into Pantheon. Go figure. And it'll be easy enough to update my local DDEV environment to 7.3, but we'll just eyeball where we're at with my Pantheon hosting as well. So for DDEV, so here's the code base, I'm all up to date. I just did a poll and made sure I'm all up to date. I'm going to go to DDEV over here and open up my config.yaml, and I am on 7.2. So I'm going to take this up to 7.3 locally, and then I'm going to do a DDEV restart. And while that is running, we're going to come back over here, and we'll share the Pantheon dashboard for. I think I've already read this, or I didn't read it, but I already did that, I thought. Okay, I'm gonna assume that that's fine. Okay, so if I go to settings, PHP version, I am using PHP 7.2 on Pantheon. So I should be able to safely bump it up to 7.3 for this version and for Drupal 9. So let's just do that. So I restarted DDEV. So let me slow down, do one thing at a time. So let's reload this, and this should go away. Yep, so that's now green, but we always want to make sure our local environment and our remote environments are using the same, at least minor version of PHP, so at least 7.3. And Pantheon is clearly only using 7.2, but we can modify that in the pantheon.yaml file. We can tell it which version of PHP we want to use. So I'm going to save that. And the next time, when I commit and push this change up to Pantheon, Pantheon will see this and it will start using 7.3 with my site. So that takes care of this first one. When using MariaDB, minimum version is 10.3.7. Looks like I'm using 10.2.31. So again, I don't know why this is, 10.3 and I'm on 10.2. Okay, so again, this is a DDEV thing. So I should be able to update that the same way. So we're gonna go into DDEV. And if we look at MariaDB versions down here, I just have to specify it like this, MariaDB version 10 dot whatever. And I don't think I am, I'm specifying 10.2. So let's just use 10.3. And we'll do a DDEV restart. Again, probably should have done those two at the same time, but it says using Apache, minimum version is 2.4.7. We are using Nginx, so I'm going to assume that we're okay there. And you can see it's actually recreating my database container because it's going to the new version. So that'll take a second or two. So I'm going to assume that Apache is fine as well. And this is restarted. So let's restart here. And it's funny, it looks like that there is a PHP 7.3, like just a minor notice somewhere. It looks like an upgrade status, which is kind of ironic. All right, so there we go. So we're green and green there. Not going to worry about Apache right now because we're using Nginx. When using Drush, minimum version is 10. All right, well, that should be a pretty straightforward upgrade that we can do. So let's look at the project's composer.json. And let's just find Drush. Drush. Do I not have, oh wow, I'm not including Drush as part of this project. So that's silly. So we're gonna fix that right now. DDEV composer require. So what this basically means, the version of Drush that I'm using on this site is version 9. It's the version that actually is installed with DDEV by default. So if we do a DDEV.drush -- version, so you can see we're on 9.7.1, but if I do a DDEV composer require drush, I'm not gonna worry about Drupal console. I've actually found, I have not used Drupal console all that much lately. The drush generate tools are been serving me just fine. So I'm not going to worry about Drupal console. Another question, is there a preferred example to make module code compatible with different Drupal PHP versions? Like an if statement or switch statement? No, not that I know of. I have not seen or needed anything like that. All right, so I got 10.2 installed. Or it's about to be installed. So we'll let that happen. I wonder if I do Command plus, will that? No, it does not increase the font size. If there's an easy way, resize. No, oh, we're just gonna have to deal with that. So if anybody has questions, feel free to put them in the chat while we're waiting here. after that, we're gonna just start going through these and see if we can't delete stuff we don't need anymore and fix this warning for sure. What? Oh, so the GDPR module is getting in the way. Okay, so, well, let's table drush then. And let's go down here to GDPR. So how could that possibly be up to date? So let's do this. Where is this gonna go? No, I just actually want to just see the module. So let's just go here. GDPR. So what probably I should do is I should probably keep this tab open. So that's the latest version and that's failing. So that's almost a blocker right off the bat. Let's see what we can do about that. Alpha 7. What am I on? Am I on 2.0 or 1.0? I'm on 2.0 Alpha 7. That sucks. All right, let's go here and see where we're at. Drupal 9 readiness, automated Drupal route turn. Let's see what folks have to say about this. Automated drush. That is a little bit funky. So for some reason, it's a conflict with drush because the module itself is requiring drush 9, but I'm trying to install drush 10. So let's come back here. I did not expect to find this issue. Drush 9 ready. It's drush 10. Turn drush requirement into a suggestion, and yeah, so this is the absolute right. So is this in the dev version? It hasn't been. Turn. Okay, let me just see where is this? All right, so it looks like this person, Layman X, wants to solve this problem. Module looks abandoned, that's too bad. Have they been added? I don't see them as a committer yet. Nope, not yet. Okay, so this is a little bit worrisome about this module. Because this is kind of a blocker. And I'm not, so it seems like I would have to do some, I'd have to do some research into what I could replace this with. Does anybody use any GDPR modules on their site?
No, not really.
No. All right. So let's see. All right. What am I going to do here? Let me check one more. Let me see if it seems like that Layman X person wants to be a maintainer, but no one is coming from open security and we're working on Drupal 9 right now at the moment with some devs. Happy to chat about this further. Is this one of the maintainers?
We use the GDPR compliance module.
Oh, really? Okay. That's thank you, Sarah. So maybe that's my ticket out of this thing. Is it Drupal 9 ready? I mean, that hasn't had a release in a while as well. Let's see if that's Drupal 9 ready. I mean, that's 857 sites using it. I'm just 2,600, so a little bit of a difference, not ginormous. Let's see if there's anything in this issue queue about Drupal 9 compatibility, needs work. This is probably just a patch to add the line to the info file, yeah. Core version records, I don't know if that's gonna make it. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do, temporarily. So I better keep some notes for myself here, but temporarily I'm gonna disable, on my local at least, GDPR regulation. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna open up a new, where am I gonna do this? I will just put this in the root file. I'm gonna call this Drupal 9 upgrade notes.txt. Okay, so what do we need to do? So waiting for let me just grab the, to be Drupal 9 ready, disabled locally for now. Okay, so that's a big one that we found right off the bat. So let's just do a ddev.drush pm uninstall GDPR PR. And let me just make sure that there are no, I'm not sure if there's just one module there or if there's submodules involved. So let's take a look. GDPR. Yeah, there are a bunch of submodules, but it looks like I'm only using the main one. Okay, so we're gonna uninstall the main one. So it's unfortunate because this is kind of a hard blocker because I really want this module on the site. So I'd either have to switch modules or maybe go with the dev version, apply some patches in order to get it working with Drupal 9. So, okay, but if I disable it and come back to here, that should get rid of it. Well, it will definitely get rid of it here. Might as well reload this page as well. Yeah, so it's no longer here. It's probably down here under, yeah, under uninstalled. So, but the fact it's got 26 errors or so, 26 issues, we can actually click on this and see, you know, it's calling deprecated functions that are removed from Drupal 9. So, you know, this module needs, it looks like it's all Drupal set message. There's some constants as well, but this module will not work with Drupal 9 as is. But now that we've disabled it, and I'm going to, so waiting for disabled and removed from codebase locally for now. So Git status, here's what we're gonna do. We're actually gonna put all this stuff on a Git branch, I'm sorry, Git checkout -b for branch, Drupal 9. There we go. I'm gonna do all this stuff on a new branch. Okay, so let me just start adding some stuff. So git add.ddev and pantheon.yaml, git commit-m, updated PHP to 7.3 and local MariaDB version. Okay, so that's the first thing we did. Git status. All right, so we're on our Drupal 9 branch. Here's my upgrade notes. I'm just gonna leave those hanging out there, I think. Let's do a ddev composer remove Drupal/GDPR. So I actually have to remove it from the code base, otherwise I wouldn't be able to update Drush. And I'll do with dependencies. And, oh, not on a remove, an update. Sorry about that. That's me, muscle memory. I always want to do updates. So we got some dependencies of the GDPR that are also requirements of the project. So they're going to get ignored, not removed. So after this, we should be green here as well. Well, after we install Drush. I really like work like this because it's a little bit of sleuthing. Wow, geez, there's a lot of stuff there. I did have a version of Drush. Oh, that makes sense. God, there are a lot of dependencies there. Deprecation notices. Gosh, now I'm a little bit worried my site's not even going to run. Let's see. So look, it removed a lot of stuff. All right, that's fine. Let me rebuild caches. So at least it's going to be, well, it should be gone from there. Git status. So dependencies are committed to the repo. Yeah, so the message module was a dependency. There's GDPR. Checklist API module was a dependency. A bunch of, look at that, a bunch of other components. Gee whiz. Okay, so it's gone from there. It's already gone from there. It's going to be gone from there. Okay, so let's commit all those changes. Git add web modules, contrib, git add vendor, git status. Well, obviously the composer.json, git add composer.json, composer.lock, git commit -m, removed GDPR and module and dependencies. All right, git status, woohoo. So now we can finally get back to our where did I try to install DDEV? I should probably just do this. Control R. Oh, what happened? Oh, function. Control R. DDEV.drush. No, not DDEV. No, geez. DDEV composer require. Now I've just made a mess of this. DDEV composer require drush. That's all I'm trying to do right there. So this should get us version 10. Now that it's not going to be blocked by GDPR. So while that's going, now it's got me curious about Drupal GDPR modules. That's the one I'm using. There's documentation. There's a consent module. Form compliance. This is the one Sarah told us about. Oh, this is, okay, this is the documentation for the one I'm using. So there's a lot of work on this module. Then looks like the maintainer just kind of walked away. This one only has 385. Did we get stuff? Yeah, okay. 10.2, blah, 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 drush, 10.2. Okay, we got drush. Let us come back here. I'm going to reload, and this should be fixed. Oh, not that. R. Yay, okay, it's green. Fantastic. Okay, so let's commit that and be done. Git status, git add vendor, git status, git add composer.json, composer.lock. git commit dash m installed drush 10.2. And then if I do a ddev.drush dash dash version, DDEV will use the finder and it will see that I'm not using 10.2. Okay, so we're good, finally. Feel like we're making a little bit of progress, even though I had to disable a module. Let's take a look at the DrupalEasy audio module. So this is a custom module. Those of you that took Drupal Career Online, the Drupal 8 version, it should be familiar because it is the HTML audio module in sort of disguise. So there's the module right there. Let's look at the warning. We have to add this to the info.yaml file to make it compatible. Let's definitely do that. And we can just add it right there, just like that. So this is a pretty common addition to make a module compatible with Drupal 9. So if I add that, and I just reload this, it might require a cache clear because I did change a YAML file or rebuild. So let's do that. I still have a warning. Let's see. Are you sure about that? I definitely added it. I definitely saved it. Let's try rebuilding caches again. All right, how do I, if I click that, do I have to, I guess I have to rescan. There we go. That makes more sense. Because the first time I installed this, it scanned. So let's just rescan. I guess clearing caches does not automatically rescan. Let's look at some PHP notices. That's funny, but no known errors. Okay, fantastic. So this should be ready for Drupal 9. Social media, I'm not sure if I even have these other modules enabled. So if not, it might be time to get rid of them. Oh, I do have it. I'm not even sure what this module does. Let's look. Is it probably just a block, maybe? Social media link formatter. What does it actually do? Oh, it adds an icon. It adds an icon for some social media stuff. All right, so let's do this. Let's get ahead of the curve on this one. Let's add this to that. And then let's come over here and let's scan that module. Scan selected. Yep, David, as a helpful note about MariaDB versions, you have to check obviously with your hosting provider. All right, so no known errors there. So forms, common, and views, I'm pretty sure these are all features that I was playing with back when I first was migrated to Drupal 8. I'm pretty sure none of these are enabled, but let's just look. DrupalEasy. How is that possibly enabled? I mean, I don't even have features on here. Oh, this is a good time to clean all this stuff up though. Yeah, so features is not there. So if I uninstall, let's do, I can always get a database from Pantheon. I'm gonna try uninstall forms. Oh, I can't. Required by common and views. Okay, common. Oh boy, look at that. They're kind of all, yeah. So this is like old cruft on my site that I've kicked the can down the road until now, and now I'm dealing with it. So yeah, so those three are in here. So let's go into here, and I'm gonna get, look at that, the forms feature is dependent on DE forms. So I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm gonna do my best to make it so I can delete this stuff. Because I'm pretty sure if I delete it, nothing's gonna happen. DE audio. Yeah, I just want to disable these modules, to be honest with you. So here, let's do this before we do anything, because I do use configuration system on this site. So let me just export my config, which I probably have a bit. That's gone, core extension, upgrade status, settings. Okay, so let's just do an export and get that saved. So ddev.drush-cex-y. So I'm gonna export my config. I have everything going to the config directory, you know, so. And I'm on my Drupal 9 branch, so this is gonna be fine. All right, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Oh well. Git status. Yes, git, let me just add config for now. Git status, git commit -m, keeping config up to date. Git status. Okay, my goal is I actually want to delete these modules. Well, oh, actually here, you know what I can do? Audio and social media, I can make those changes. Git add web modules custom git status, because I do want these changes because these are the two modules I do use. Git commit -m, added Drupal 9 version requirement to custom modules. Git status. Okay, my goal is to delete these and the rest of the modules in a second, so I'm not going to bother adding them to the repo just yet. If I reload my config, this should be clean because I just exported, so by definition, it should be clean, and it is. And if I go to uninstall and reload this, these requirements should go away since I just deleted them, or not audio, but common, forms, and views. Those require, maybe I have to rebuild caches. Every now and then I remember that I have these things on the site. DE? No. DrupalEasy, let me just do it this way. DrupalEasy. Okay. Common, forms, views. So I'm hoping that when I uninstall them, that's not going to take any configuration with them. And I'll be able to tell on my configuration page. If it does take it away, I'm hoping I can just do a config import to get all my config back without those modules. Okay, so I'm not worried about that. This should just be those three things getting removed. So far, so good. You know, this is just, you know, the config sync sort of lying to us. Let's just go to the status report real quick. Never trust what's in the yellow on the config sync page. Always look at the rest. Missing. Okay, so we'll have to deal with that. But this was a dependency of GDPR a minute ago. Okay, so if we come here, I mean, the site still looks pretty good. Nothing really broken. Contact form working. DDEV page working, pulling in Eventbrite stuff. Let me go to one more place. DCO taste. There we go. And this form is working as well. Okay, so clearly that didn't do anything. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do another config export. And after a long time, I'm going to delete these features, which are no longer necessary. Delete that entire directory. Oh, that feels good. Cleaning stuff up. Git status. So we're going to have a lot of deleted. All those three modules, DCO forms, DE common, DE views, all those old features modules. So git add web modules, features, config, git, oh, it's already deleted that. Git add config, git status. Changes are ready to be committed. Here is our config that deletes those modules, and here's all those modules. Git commit -m, removed unused and very old feature modules. Smiley face, because I'm happy about that. Git status. All right, so with that done, let's circle back here, and this page should get a little bit. Okay, so far so good. DE8, this is the original theme for the site. So it's no longer used. So if you look inside themes / there's contrib, which is Bootstrap. DE8, which I think was based on Nito, the Nito based theme way back, but I don't use this one anymore. And the DrupalEasy is the current theme. So I don't know if I wanted to, I guess I could delete it because it is in the repository, but I'm actually, for this one, I'm just fine with just letting it sit there. I don't know why. I don't have a real good reason for keeping it. So we're gonna leave that one. Then we have some uninstalled extensions. So DrupalEasy, what is this? This is my theme, isn't it? Yeah, so I don't know why. Update status is calling this uninstalled extension. Update text format. Let's look at what that one is. We'll go in order here. I forget what this even did. Let's see if there's one-time use module to update text formats to basic HTML. Oh, okay, so it was one-time use. So it's not enabled because I probably used it around the post-migration time or something like that. So we're just going to let that sit. This temp config, I'm going to delete that. I have no idea what that is, so we're going to get rid of that. We'll keep the update text format. It's not enabled, so these have already been deleted. So I don't know what I need to do to get them off this list. I'll probably have to rescan. Let's try that. Let's rescan those, see what happens. Maybe if they're not there, they can't be scanned, they'll fall off the list. So while that's going, let's do a git status. Here's that temp config stuff. I must have just, I don't know, backed it up there for some reason in the past, but let's commit. Removed temp config stuff. Git status. Okay. How's everybody doing? Everyone digging this so far? I don't see your heads. I lost everyone's heads. Well, here are your heads. I'm gonna move your heads so I can keep an eye on everybody. There we go. That's better. Okay. Well, Carla left. She ran away. Okay, so let's let this do its thing. So now it's got me curious a little bit about the theme code, but let's just let that sit. Oh, so I do have some warning. I don't even know warnings. And I mean, the code's gone, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Unexpected error because it doesn't exist. Okay, that's fine. So I'm not gonna worry about those three. Text format, I don't care about because it's not enabled. And DrupalEasy, So it definitely knows it's the theme. So I will add this. The DrupalEasy extension cannot check deprecated library use. So that's weird. I wonder if that's a shortcoming of the update status module. It doesn't really handle themes well. So that was the Drew. So this is the current theme. We got my info.yaml. I do have type theme, so. Oh, I had that backwards. DrupalEasy is the old theme. Man, I'm glad I didn't delete it. DE8 is the current theme. Okay, so yes, DrupalEasy is indeed not being used. So let's just do this. Core, yeah, there we go. Let's just put that in there. Yeah, that's not the first time I've made that mistake. So DE8 is the theme. DrupalEasy is the old theme. So we're all set here because I know none of these are enabled, so I don't really care what their status is. This one is the current theme, so let's definitely scan that. And let me just make sure I save. I did save it because I closed it. Let's scan the current theme. That's pretty funny because I often get those two themes. I should probably give a better naming convention, like, you know, DrupalEasy 1, DrupalEasy 2, DrupalEasy 3. That way it's easier for me to know. Ooh, look at that. No known errors. Fantastic. Okay, well, no known doesn't mean there's unknown. So might find some unknown in manual testing, but so far so good. So I've got about 10 minutes left in this this time period. So let's try and find something small to do. I think before we start diving down into these, let's go back to that status report. Let's make sure we're clean again. Did I just do anything? Am I clean here? Oh no, I updated the theme. So let's make sure we get that committed. Okay, so config is clean and I can make Git clean. Git add web themes DE8, Git status, Git commit, added Drupal 9 version requirement to DE8 theme, Git status. Okay, so we're clean on Git. We're clean with config. Let's take a look at that error we saw with the checklist API. Now, checklist API was a dependency of that GDPR module. So I think the GDPR module did not really clean up after itself because the following modules marked as installed in core.extension, but it's missing. So if we come over to our code base, modules contrib, you know, checklist API is gone. It'd be between Bootstrap and Classy. So it definitely doesn't exist. I mean, if we want to be triply sure, we could do checklist API. And we're going to find it. The only place, yeah, so this is about what I expected. We find it in that config, and that's exactly what this is complaining about. So knowing a little bit about the configuration system, I think we can just delete this from here. So I'm going to delete it from core.extension. And then I'm going to go back to the config sync page. Configs, okay, well, I'm not going to worry about that. View differences. So remember that this active is the database. So this still has it. The stage does not have it, and we don't want it to have it. So I should be able to do a CIM, config import, or click the import all button, and that should remove it. And I don't know if it's going to have an issue because usually if you do stuff like this, yeah, okay. Oh, so there's another configuration that we have to get rid of as well. So yeah, the GDPR module is not doing us any favors here. So if we come down here, there might be a checklist API config that we're going to have to delete as well. So I'm going to delete that as well. Okay, and we're going to hit reload. This just means when the GDPR module does get updated, I'm gonna have to redo all my config, but I can go back in my repository or even look on the live site and redo it that way. So when I import, it's gonna remove it from core.extension and it's gonna remove this config from the active config, which is the database. So let's see if this happens cleanly. Okay, so we're clean there. This is going to be dirty again because we made 2 changes. So we deleted that and I changed that. So those are good. If I go back to the status report, hopefully that missing or invalid module error is going to go away. Oh, and it's gone. Okay. Happened so fast. All right, so we took care of that. So again, git add config, git status, git commit -m, removed checklist API config that GDPR module left laying around recklessly. Maybe not recklessly. Yeah, we'll just say that recklessly. There we go. Git status. All right, I think, I don't think I'm gonna do much more. Maybe we'll just kind of take a look at where we are and what we can do next. So let me just reload this one more time. Oh, and now my uninstalled stuff is gone. So that's good. So, okay. Project. Okay, up to date. So even the 2.0 version is ready. It's got some warnings. Let's just double check. Browser test, but this is just some errors without drill, errors. So it looks like there are some testing. So let's parse this right. So this module is ready for Drupal 9. So is this saying that this version of this module is ready? Or is it saying that the update version of the module is ready? I think it means this, because there are warnings. So you know what do we have? We have 5 minutes, let's do it. DDEV, Composer, Update, Drupal, and I already forgot the module, Admin Toolbar, right? Admin Toolbar with dependencies. So I was just notified that I have a grammar error, which I'm embarrassed about because I'm not. Where is it? Let's see. Yeah, this should be lying around. I'm a bit of a, well, my wife and I are sticklers for grammar, and yeah, that's embarrassing. So sorry about that. I could use git amend, but I'm not going to bother. All right, so we updated to 2.2, blah, 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 blah. Let's come back over here. So this is a module update, so I'm going to kind of do my normal process here and come over to my status report first. There are database updates. That's exactly why I do that. And oh, that sucks. Oh, GDPR is really screwing me on this one. Okay, so here's what we're gonna have to do. That's so much for 5 minutes, might go a little bit over. I'm gonna do a DDEV Composer require checklist API. I'm gonna add the module on its own. I'm gonna put a note up here that module updates with database updates, updates. Drupal checklist API. Did I spell it wrong? Yeah, how about I put Drupal in front of it? Why isn't anybody correcting me on this stuff? I blame all of you. There we go.
Well, didn't somebody just correct your grammar?
My grammar,
maybe?
yeah.
Yeah.
But I was nice. I didn't, you know, I thanked them. I was thankful for it.
Right.
Admin. So I like to keep track, especially since it'll probably be a little while before I push this up live. I just want to make a note of which modules have updates. All right, now I'm gonna have to do I'm a little bit bitter about GDPR module now. drush-en-y checklist API. So now I'm gonna enable this. And this will probably give me some weird error about the table already exists or something, because I didn't actually uninstall it, because I guess that GDPR didn't actually clean up after itself. Oh, no error there. So now let's try running database updates. Since I have checklist API. Okay, so this is going to get this, and then after this, I'm going to uninstall checklist API, and hopefully that will be the end of that. So sometimes rather than fighting those errors, you just kind of say, okay, roll over and okay, admin. I would pay money to have a status report link right here. Makes me crazy that's not there. I think I actually suggested it and there's some reason why it was a bigger deal than I thought it should be. And I got frustrated and ran away. All right, so admin toolbar appears to still be working. If I come over here and now I hit reload. Modules ready, up to date. I still have these warnings, that blows. Well, here, hold on. Let's rescan since I've learned that lesson. Yeah, checklist API. You believe me, that checklist API is gone in a second before this day is over. The screen recording is over. I'm actually going to do this. DDEV .drush pm uninstall checklist API. I'm not going to do it yet, but okay. So admin toolbar, look, it's all green. Yay! So we're going to be doing that a lot next time for a lot of these. And some of them have like major updates, like config filter, config split, contact store, chaos tool. Let's see, what's a big one? Google Analytics, I'm on 2.4. I have to get to at least 2.5, but I'll probably just go up to the latest. Okay, so I've uninstalled checklist API again, and now I'm going to do a DDEV composer remove Drupal / checklist API. So my hope is that since I uninstalled it, it's now completely cleaned up after itself, which it didn't do when I uninstalled GDPR. So I'm hoping this is the end of checklist API until I can reinstall GDPR, which will hopefully solve any problems with it and checklist API. But yeah, we've got quite a few here that are not paragraphs. I don't actually use paragraphs on the site anymore, so I'm pretty sure that we're going to just remove paragraphs altogether. Pathologic, I'm not even sure I need this one either. So there's some of these that I may not even need. This could be a problem, responsive favicons, because it's up to date and not ready. Yeah, so we're gonna have to go through these one by one. This is a bit of a problem too.
Yeah, Bootstrap, that's not good.
Maybe I should have started here. Maybe part of these screencasts would be Mike redoes his theme. Okay, so let's come over here and reload and make sure we're clean on our status. Yep. Let's see how config looks. Reload this while we're at it. Okay, so this should be, what is this going to be? What changes here? Did I enable admin toolbar search? Or did it automatically get enabled? I guess it automatically got enabled. Yeah, so that's this thing right here, which is new and like 2.1 or something. So whatever, all right, I'm cool with that change. So let's do a DDEV.drushCEX. So let's export the config and do one more commit and call it a day. Git status. Okay, so what do we got? We have admin toolbar update. We have composer.lock because I updated a module. Here's our config. Here's our vendor. So yeah, that's all good. So git add web modules contrib admin toolbar, as well as composer.lock, as well as vendor. I think that was everything, right? Git status. Oh, config. Git add config. Git status. Okay, one more review here. So modified, that's all good. Anything in admin toolbar is good because that's the module I just updated. That even deleted some. Git commit -m updated admin toolbar module to 8.x-2.2. Boom. Git status. And since this is on a new branch, I'm just going to push this. Git push origin Drupal 9, and this will push to Pantheon, to the Pantheon repository. I'm not even going to bother creating. It'll ask me if I want to create a multi-dev. No multi-dev environments found. I haven't created one yet, but that's fine. I pushed, this branch just as a backup because now if an asteroid hits my laptop, all the work we've done is, it's in the repository up on Pantheon. All right. So any questions about how we started this, what we did today? The key is really going to be the upgrade status module, I think. And then it's just, doing what it says and just kind of going through and, trying to get everything green. Yeah, this one is going to be interesting though. I wonder if there's even a dev version or anything. I'm afraid to look, so I'm not going to look. I'm going to stick my head in the sand until I work on this again.
What about Bootstrap 9? Can you do that?
Is that a module? Is that a theme? What do you mean?
That's what David said in the chat.
Oh no, Bootstrap 4. Yeah, Bootstrap.
Oh, 4, my bad.
Changing the framework to 4. Yeah, that's a lot of work. So that would be me redoing my theme, which believe me, I have thought about. So, maybe that's going to be, we're going to have to, like I said, I'm going to stick my head in the sand because I think this is still a useful exercise. So we're going to work all of these in order and eventually we'll get to Bootstrap and then I'll have to see what, where we are with that and whether or not, should I wait like with GDPR? Like GDPR, there's a glimmer of hope because there's someone who wants to be a maintainer. It looks like that process is grinding along. With Bootstrap, the maintainer is normally pretty active, so we're going to have to take a look at that queue. And if you look, don't tell me. I don't want to know the answer. I want to stick my head in the sand for a while still. But when I get down to this, I'm going to have to make a decision. Am I going to wait, or am I going to, switch base themes and re-theme, or, what am I going to do? Maybe I'll switch it to Bardic and be done with it. So, all right. Well, thanks for watching. I am going to stop the recording. We'll see you on the next one.